All right, we are back. My name is Heidi Foy. For those of you that are just dropping in, I am the creator of opportunities here at Bullfrog Creatives. And we have taken, it feels like I've been on a break for like a month, but it really was only a week. So listen, the goal of this kind of broadcast, College Rodeo 101, is to, it originated, like in April, maybe even May. Just wanted to get some information out, some information about the college finals, some information about college rodeo in particular, and it kind of has taken off. So we are doing profiles of different colleges across the nation and their rodeo programs. So today I'm happy to say, although there is a little bit of a border war between this school and my hometown, I still am happy to have you on here, Brandon Ferguson, who is the rodeo coach at Colorado State University. So again, thank you. I know we've had some issues. I apologize. We're kind of tuning in a little bit late, but hey, we're here. And that is the joy of technology in our world. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us. It appears that you might be on vacation. So we really appreciate you taking the time to join us.
I'm happy to do it, Heidi. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So I apologize. I'm going to try to pull up the Facebook feed so I don't miss any questions. So bear with me as we do that. I'm going to have you answer a question while we get started, while I get it pulled up. Talk to me a little bit, Brandon, where is CSU located?
Our campus is in Fort Collins, Colorado. It's northern Colorado, kind of the foothills would be considered. So one of the larger towns, especially in our region, one of the larger towns to hold a college rodeo through the year. So yeah, it's about an hour and a half ish from north to Denver, just straight up I-25.
All right, perfect. So I guess, why don't you talk to me also about how big is Fort Collins big? Is it small? I'm somewhat familiar with it because we do drive down that way every once in a while, but maybe just talk to us a little bit about the size of the community, and then also talk to me about campus life.
Fort Collins, I would consider one of the larger towns and continuing to grow cities in the state. Really, it's a lot of people are definitely flocking to that area for sure. So would be one of the larger towns in the state. And as far as campus life, from what I hear from the students, not being alumni from there, it's a lot of diversity, a lot of they get to experience a lot of different aspects of people's lives from different states, different countries, just around the world, and really kind of become diverse in their education, their thoughts on the world, and it's kind of cool to see those perspectives kind of translate into rodeo and see how much of a universal language rodeo can be when kids will have roommates from other countries, other states that have never been around rodeo. They'll bring them to practice just to kind of, help to educate them on some of our lifestyle. And it's just a cool opportunity that I never really thought I'd have, of being able to share rodeo with people that, some have never seen it in their lives, and some they've seen just the surface of it. And it's cool to be able to have a place and an avenue to do that in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that for those of us that have been involved in rodeo as a whole, always looking for that opportunity to share it with someone that has not experienced it is crucial. I mean, it's crucial to the livelihood, to the rodeo world, and kind of to continue the message that, and making sure that we're sharing the right message, and that the information is getting out there to the right people too. So I definitely appreciate that for sure. So Brandon, I know where you're at, bandwidth is a little bit low. And so we're just gonna kind of work through it, and hopefully, y'all, if you're watching, if you have questions, if you missed something, just post a question on here or hit me back up and we'll try to fill in some gaps if there are any. I'm hearing you, but I know that oftentimes it's not translated well. So just bear with us, everybody that's kind of tuning in. So talk to me a little bit about some of the programs that y'all have academic wise. Maybe just touch base on some of the degrees that some of your rodeo kids have sought after, and then maybe anything else that you know about the college academically.
Yeah, so academically, a majority of the kids that are on the team are in some form of ag, whether it be ag business, ag education. The big one that I think draws a lot of people to CSU is the vet program. One of the best vet programs in the country, and with that brings a lot of kids in for either pre-vet or vet, and a lot of times you'll see kids come in as freshmen in pre-vet, and sophomore year they come back and their degrees have changed into something a little more generally ag based. So there are a handful of kids that we've had that have kind of gone more unconventional routes, and I know there's a good like wildlife like game and fish program that I know a couple of my former students were in that major, and wasn't necessarily ag, but kind of spoke to the same lifestyle in a lot of ways. And I know a couple of them have moved on from that and have been really successful in that department as well.
Perfect. So we've kind of talked a little bit about this with every college that I've spoken to. Can you talk to me about, are there any requirements for incoming freshmen to live on campus? If there are, what does the on-campus housing look like? And if there are not, what does the off-campus housing look like for you guys?
So what I've been told kind of a lot of secondhand from students, and from what I've understood is they do require freshmen to live in the dorms. There are different circumstances and situations where if they have family that lives close, or mainly a relative of some kind that they're planning on living with, they can live with that parent as a freshman or family member. But from what I've seen, a majority of the students, because a lot of our students are from out of state, so a lot of them will live on campus their freshman year, and then sophomore year. It's been kind of cool to see, just in the little bit of time I've been there, of kids that met through the rodeo program after freshman year, living together, picking, helping each other as roommates. And it's been kind of cool to see the rodeo team be that avenue for them to make the friends that they're going to have throughout their lives.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I know that everybody that is watching, that has watched more than one anyways, will hear me say this every time. It's definitely a good idea to live on campus as a freshman. One of the things that I regret, but also I think one of the main reasons, is that so you can meet other kids, not just involved with the rodeo program. And I think that the same reason that you feel like it's good for them to meet, and then they can go off campus later and potentially live with other rodeo kids, but also for them to kind of branch out a little bit. Y'all spending a lot of time together between rodeo practice and weekends and traveling. It's really nice to kind of diversify your friend group, so to speak. I know that sounds real corny, but it definitely, it's beneficial, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reason why a lot of them do end up being roommates is because of what you just said, because they do spend so much time together that, when you're rodeoing with someone, you get to know them better as family. So you kind of hit that point where if you were able to travel together, practice together, have classes together as a freshman, you've spent enough time together. Yeah, you definitely know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's take just a little bit of a turn here and talk about the good stuff. Talk to me. So I'm going to take a little bit of a detour here first. Are you still recruiting for this fall?
Still recruiting. Still, actually have had quite a few freshmen contact me and our team secretary, Elena, and our plan going forward is to try to normalize our world as much as we can. I'm trying as hard as I can to, make sure we get the practice cattle lined up and make sure we have direction on what we can do, so that once we get final word from the university, we're ready to just step into it and start our practices and get prepared for our fall rodeos.
Okay. And do you guys have any scholarship money available, or I guess any money left for those that are looking to attend on scholarship?
So that's something that we're working extremely hard on building. When I joined this program, I guess I'm coming into the 4th year. Wasn't something we really had a lot of, and something that we've really been focusing on. And with that, I've kind of understood that I can't necessarily run this program the way that other colleges are capable of. So my goal pretty much from day one has been to not necessarily go and find the next, the next national champion, next regional champion, but to use what we have to make the next regional champion. Because if they're there and they're focused on their education, and I can give them the tools and resources to get better in the arena, then that's really what I'm there for more than anything.
That sounds good. So let's talk about, tell me about y'all's practice facility, and then also where are the kids boarding their horses?
So our practice facility, we're pretty spoiled, to be honest. We get to practice in BW Pickett, the indoor arena. We practice 2 nights a week. We have the late practice, which helps because on the downside it starts at 8. But the upside, we just have to make sure we're out before class in the morning. So we get to really take our time and slow down and just focus on whatever the kids are needing to focus on at that point. If they need to make several runs, they can. If they need to go rope the dummy and slow down and do some groundwork, they can. So we're pretty fortunate to have the arena and the practice facilities that we do, because it's also the arena that we hold our Skyline Stampede in April. And with boarding, that's that we've been trying to continue to work through. We are fortunate. There are several boarding facilities that are all within 15-20 minutes of the arena. So a lot of the kids will kind of learn real quick who else is boarding where, and kind of use those ties pretty early on to make sure they have a boarding facility they can trust and feel safe at.
Okay, great. Something that I kind of skipped over, but I know has come up in some previous conversations is the with on-campus living. I'm going to assume that there's also kind of a food or like a lunch and dinner plan that people can purchase. Is that also true for you guys?
Yeah. From everything I've been told, that is included with the dorms.
Okay.
Is a meal plan to make sure.
Looks like we're kind of going in and out with service right now, Brandon, but I think we got the gist of it. I think we got the gist of it.
Okay.
Sorry. So no, that's okay. I mean, this is kind of what this is the environment we have right now. So we do the best we can. Listen, I'm going to kind of fill the gap because I see that your internet is kind of wonky right now. So I'm going to talk for just a little bit. Something that we have worked hard at to make sure that we do is ask everybody some of the same questions so that we can get basically kind of a level playing field. If there's kids out there that are looking for at least kind of start information and kind of startup information about where they potentially could go to school, then this is a really good place to start. You can look and see the answers to the same questions from different schools across the country. And then you can start kind of making your list from there. So we appreciate the time of the coaches. We appreciate the time of people that are watching. If y'all have any questions, please make sure to post us, comment on these, or send me a private message, and we can definitely get those questions asked.
Yep.
Brandon, is there anything that you want to add in regards to the program you have there at CSU?
Really, I guess the only thing I feel like I can add is the opportunity that these kids have gotten, because I do coach, but it is a volunteer position. I don't get paid for it. I work a normal grown-up job and get to come still continue to play cowboy. But because of that, it gives the kids an opportunity to really learn how to lead, how to be leaders, basically out of necessity. A lot of times it's something that I just can't physically have the capability of doing between my job and my family. And a lot of times that will fall on the students. And to me, it's just awesome to see how that progresses as they come in as freshmen and as they are leaving as seniors, to see that, those early conversations are filled with a lot of doubt, and I'd rather not, I'd rather you do it. And by the end, it's just tell me where to go, tell me who it is, and I'll do the rest from there. It's just a cool opportunity to see leadership really taught and just coached into these kids that take on a lot of the day-to-day activities of the program.
That sounds good. I mean, I think that some hands-on leadership skills is definitely a necessity in our environment anyways. So
Yeah.
Sounds like a great program. And I would also add kudos to you for taking on this kind of position in a volunteer role. I know that it's not always easy. And I would also add that even when you are a paid coach, it's kind of a labor of love. You typically aren't paid a lot. And so I think that the rodeo coach in general is, I don't know, it's kind of overlooked and oftentimes underappreciated. So I kudos to you for the volunteer.
And honestly, it's been a blessing for me and my family. I have my son Brody is 10 and my daughter Katie is just turned 7. And they love being able to just go to practices and just hang out with cool college kids that are, it makes the kids on the team kind of on their best behavior, and it gives my kids some place to go and see a little bit of this life that I was really fortunate enough to live and be a part of. It's given them that area to really to grow in as well. So as much as I love it, it's we see results from it too. Just being able to just have my family involved with it, and for me to just still have a place in it.
Yeah, and I would add to that. I think it's fun for me as well for that same reason. My kids look up to the college kids that keep their horses out here, and it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see those college kids put in that mentor role and how they respond and how they react. I mean, I think it goes right hand in hand with kind of learning those leadership skills on the fly. And it snaps them into reality real quick when they realize that there are little eyes watching them and that they are on a pedestal, whether they think they are or not.
Yeah. It's fun to see, because you can tell it's the same thing with the leadership. At first, it's they're not sure how to handle it, and then by the end, they're doing the dad jokes and playing the same tricks that I am on everybody else. So it's fun to see.
Yeah. So we do have a couple of comments on our Facebook page. One of them, has CSU ever won a national team title?
We have.
Okay.
There were a couple in the
Oop, we might have lost him. We might have lost Brandon. I'm gonna hang on here and see. Yep. Oh, he's back. All right.
I think I'm back.
Okay, you're good. So you said you had won a couple of team titles?
Yes. In the early to mid 60s, we did have a couple national champion men's teams. kind of the very much the early progression of college rodeo. We were able to have a couple very successful men's teams. I believe one of the members of that men's team has recently been inducted into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, and a lot of that alumni went on to stay involved in the world of rodeo quite a bit.
Good, good. And then we also have another comment. I'm probably going to say this last name wrong, which is really difficult for me. David Schumpert. Schumpert.
Yep, Schumpert.
So he says, Brandon is a great coach and mentor for the kids and is looked up to by them. He did a wonderful job with our daughter. So important to be more than a coach. So it's always nice when somebody else toots your horn for you.
That means the world to me. It really does.
Absolutely.
Knowing his character, it's pretty humbling, to be honest.
Well, to be honest, Brandon, I would say it also speaks to your character. So again, that goes right back to the fact that you're doing this in a volunteer capacity, and it's clearly very appreciated.
No, I'm thankful. I really am.
So I think, unless you have anything else to add, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. For those of you guys that are joining us live, thank you so much. I appreciate you kind of hanging through it for the technical difficulties, and I apologize for coming on late. Not much we can do about it. Like, it just is the nature of the beast.
I apologize too. I had tested this probably 3 or 4 times earlier today and had no issues. Everything was right. And then, when it came time, there the issues came. Yeah,
that's how it works. That's always how it works. Exactly. So again, Brandon, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody watching us live. Again, we're going to keep going with this College Rodeo 101 as long as the need is there and as long as there are people that are interested in the information that we have to share. Something that we have coming up, I'm working on rewatching all of our interviews so far and putting some information together in a very handy little spreadsheet. As I've mentioned, I did ask everybody very similar questions. There were some questions added on as we progressed through the interviews, just kind of learning what people are interested in and kind of what things to ask. So I will put as much information together as I can. If you are watching and there's a college that you really want to hear from, please message us if you're watching and you are a coach and you have not reached out to me yet, or you have not heard from me. Also, please reach out to me. Like I said, I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can, as long as the need is there, and as long as I keep getting the interest and keep getting questions. So till next week, let me see who we have next week. University of Providence, which is located in Great Falls, Montana. And then the week following, we're going to kick it back down to California to Cal Poly with Mr. Ben Londo. So stay tuned. We've got some great colleges coming up and have obviously interviewed also some great colleges before. So if you need to, go back and watch them and keep tuning in. Thank you, Brandon, so much. You enjoy your time, and we'll hopefully catch you in Casper next year.
Yes, that's the plan. Yes, thank you again so much, Heidi.
Yep. You guys have a good day. We'll see you next week.
All right.